What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's live YouTube live in the podcast. Welcome back to the Waterfowl Den. My name's RD. Man, it's almost turkey season. We talked about it for a couple of months. Well, guess what? It's upon us. So, hopefully, y'all getting ready for turkey season. I've been watching a bunch of videos, and man, I'm super stoked. Soon, I'm gonna be going to scratch off that Rio. Hopefully. Um, I don't know. Kind of nervous. Hopefully, driving all the way to Texas that don't miss. But you know how it is. Kind of nervous, but turkey season starting around here real soon. Hopefully, y'all having a pretty good week. A lot of events going on this week that I definitely want to talk about. Uh, we're going to talk about what seasons are coming in for certain people. So hopefully, it's going to be a good episode this week. It's not going to be very long. Got a lot going on. Man, when they said when kids get older, you will run out of time. I mean, we went from basketball season straight to soccer. I mean, it is wide open. But my son truly enjoys soccer, so it just falls right during turkey season. But one good thing out of the whole season, he plays on one Saturday, and it's at like 10:30. So that's a win-win for all of us. But in South Carolina, we're going to start with South Carolina because, that's the state I'm in. So South Carolina's turkey season starting April the 3rd to May the 3rd. So that's going to run a whole month. Typically, we would come into like the low country, then the Midlands, and then the upper part of the state. But this year, it's all one time. Everybody comes in at the same time. Game management, only 2 tags. They went up on the tags, and you can only get 2 toms. You cannot shoot a Jake at all. And once you shoot your first one, you can't shoot another one till April the 10th. So if you get one on the first opening day, which will be April the 3rd, you can't hunt again till April the 10th. So a lot has changed in South Carolina. You definitely need, if you're hunting in South Carolina, you definitely need to check out the rules and regulations for sure. Georgia, y'all right there with us. The statewide turkey season. Before I get into Georgia, let me backtrack one time because South Carolina is April the 3rd through May the 3rd, but this weekend is Youth Day. So I would have to look it up. I'm not sure if it's Saturday and Sunday, but I know it's this weekend. Let me type that in before we go to another state, because I know that Youth Day is this weekend, and I saw the email that came out. That is correct. So 17 years old or younger can hunt May the 29th and the 30th. So that's this weekend, and May 10th and 11th. So they give you a couple days after. The youth hunter must be with somebody that's adult, 21 or age or older. No license or tags required for the youth. So you don't have to use one of your tags as adult, but you do still have to go on the app and check it in, is what I was told. But like I said, that's this weekend. So if you got somebody young, take them hunting. If nothing else, that's a scouting day for you. So it's a win-win for everybody. Georgia's statewide turkey opens March 29th, which is that Monday or is that Sunday? Let's verify. So Saturday, Georgia opens up Saturday for private lands, and then April the 5th for public lands. So I'm sure Georgia has a youth day. I think youth day for Georgia was last week, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So if you were in Georgia and you want to hunt youth day, you kind of missed that one. But opening weekend for Georgia is this weekend. North Carolina, right above us. Same way. Um, make sure I got the Carolinas right. Want to make sure that I got North Carolina before I give any wrong information there. Because that almost looks like the same as South Carolina. Looks like all of ours is coming together. I found a really cool picture the other day that I saved it on my phone, but I didn't save it to the computer. It showed every state where you could turkey hunt all in one series. And obviously, Florida was like one of the first ones that come available. Um, but it was really cool. And I don't even know where I saved that picture at. Um, I saw it on Facebook. It was broke down and it shows you exactly which states you could hunt in the earliest, which state came in the next, and you could basically chase the turkeys around by that diagram. But obviously, I couldn't find it. But let's see about North Carolina. So North Carolina is looking like April the 3rd, May 3rd too. So let me verify that because I want to make sure because that says South Carolina. North Carolina season opens April 5th through April 11th for Youth Day. So it looks like North Carolina may get like a whole week. Yeah, that's 2025. So youth season for North Carolina looks like a whole week, the 5th through the 11th, and then statewide April the 12th through May the 20th. Now, if you live close to any state, you can always state jump, get you one in South Carolina, go to North Carolina, back and forth. And that way you could get more turkeys, but you better be ready to do some traveling. This weekend, I also want to put this up there too, because this weekend in Columbia, if you ever went, it's really great. Um, I'm going to throw it up on the screen here. That is not what I want to throw up on the screen. Wrong one. This weekend in the middle of the state of South Carolina is the Palmetto Sportsman's Classic. If you're looking for anything hunting related, they will have camo there. Oh my gosh, the turkey calls will be going like crazy. Hoot owls, handmade calls, like really nice calls, mouth calls. There'll be duck calls. I know a bunch of people that I know will be there. If you're looking for a guided hunt in any particular place, there is probably going to be a guide there, a guide service who will definitely hook you up on some adventures. But this weekend, the 28th through the 30th, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm not sure. Let's see what time they actually open on Friday. Don't want to be a vendor. Let's see. Hours. So Friday from 12 to 8, Saturday 9 to 7, and Sunday 11 to 6. Tickets are $12. Kids 12 and under is free. They got senior citizen, military, veterans, first responders, discounts at the gate. And like I said, I've been a dozen times. It is a $5 parking. So when you pull up to the gate at the state fair, they will charge you $5. Every time I go, I can use my debit card, so you don't have to have cash. But they got fishing rodeos for the kids. This bass fisherman, it's usually somebody out there that looks like he's fishing on a boat, showing you tricks. DNR's out there measuring your deer heads. And let me tell you, when you're at the gate, there are so many people bringing their deer heads in to get their antlers measured. All kind of events, food, always my favorite. Food, they got all kind of vendors on the inside. Sometimes they have a vendor's map. I wonder if they got a map this year. Let's see. List of vendors. All right, let me go back because it said something I want to see. List of vendors. Current number of vendors right now, 366 vendors, and that was updated March the 1st. So could be more. Um, so I don't see them. Here's the map. Let's see. List of all the vendors, which I know it's probably going to be harder to see on the screen there, but they had the vendors there. Um, here is they're making waterfowl waiters. They're from South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Sumter, I think, somewhere down near Sumter area. So that's the South Carolina owned. Let's see who else is on there. Like I said, there's a lot of big names in here. Trying to see the ones that come to my name. Cabela's of Greenville. That's a bunch. Wish they had which state they were from broken down. Now we're just into the D's. Obviously, Ducks Unlimited, E's, F, G, H, J, K, L. Hey, leaf guard is going to be there. They're going to demonstrate how to keep leaves off your house. Lots of boats. One really cool boat I saw last year. Oh man, it just left my head. It starts with, I think it starts with a P. It's an aluminum boat, kind of like a John boat, but really narrow. And my brain just went blank. Super super nice boats. Um, definitely weighs more than a kayak, but they had a couple of them out there that had the rubber in them, trolling motors, trailer. I mean, it was, they were nice, like really nice. Uh, Big boats out there. If you're looking for bass boats, center consoles that have pontoons out there that you can climb on. Every single pontoon out there. So there's some Outer Banks ones there, Palmetto. There's some choke manufacturers. Um, Man, I'm just getting down into the S's now. There's a Silencers, Highway Patrol, down to the T's. There we go, all the way down to the list. Like, that's pretty crazy. Like I said, it's a great event. Go see my buddy Daryl right there, the Waterfowl Company. Daryl has a new T-shirt out for this event. He's got. I bet you he'll have a ton of calls out there for sale. He's from right there out of Santee area, Somerton. So a local duck call person there. So you can definitely go check him out. Look like he's got two booths. And one cool thing about this map that you can look at, it'll tell you who you're looking for and then which building and what booth they are in. So when you walk in, you will see the numbers of the booth right at the top, and you can go find who you're looking for. Like I said, it's real. It's a lot going on. There's a lot of people down there. What we typically do is me and my son, we typically go hunt youth day, and then we go down to the show. That's typically what we do. But I guarantee you, for what it would cost to get in, you will not go wrong. And greatly, I think you would enjoy it. Looking to see if one more person was on there. I know one guy normally comes down. But go check that out. And that is at, let me go back, Palmetto Sportsman Classic, and it's PS classic.com. So um, definitely go check that out. They got an app where you can download it and then you can see the map like I just showed you. But I think it works just on your phone too. So if you didn't want to download it, there you go. But how y'all doing this weekend? I see some people out or this weekend. Man, we ain't even made it to the weekend yet. We're in the middle of the hump day, and here I am saying, um, middle of the almost the end of the week. Psh. How y'all doing in the middle of the week? There we go. Um, Need to watch out for some weather coming up for sure. You know, we always covering some weather too. Um, Let me throw that up. Man, there were some bad storms ripping through the middle of the country last week. Tornadoes like crazy. Let's see. Let me throw this up on there. I gotta stop sharing this one. So look like what's going to happen is throwing this up on the screen here. Right now, there's some few storms coming out of Mexico into Texas, and these storms are going to start up probably around Friday. They're going to come around Dallas, part of Texas, and then come up towards Memphis, St. Louis kind of area. This whole area right in here where I'm moving my mouse, that's probably going to be Saturday, pretty good, and then it's going to move a little bit Sunday. So if you're in anywhere in the middle of the country, Saturday and Sunday, you need to watch out for sure because it's going to be rolling pretty good. And you know, even in the Carolinas, we are still up under a lot of fire um, warnings, wildfires. If uh, if you know anything about South Carolina in our upstate, which we don't have a whole lot of mountains. We got mountains, but they're not like North Carolina mountains. They still mountains, but the whole top of Table Rock somehow caught on fire and damaged a lot at Table Rock. And Table Rock's a really pretty place up there in the upper part of South Carolina. But and sadly, around this area of North Carolina, Bat Cove, which is right in a terrible spot already, because if you know anything about the mountains of Asheville, so here's Asheville, here's Chimney Rock, and people are gonna be like, "Man, that sounds familiar." Chimney Rock completely got destroyed, and then like right over here where you see me moving my mouse, Old Fort and Black Mountain and Bat Cave, pretty much this whole area right here got hammered with that hurricane. Um, Asheville got hammered. You know, I went out there to Hendersonville and worked around Hendersonville area, and this 26 going up, this peak, they got massive fires up here. Like, what wasn't already destroyed by the weather? Uh, it's bad. Like this Howard's Gap, which is pretty big down through here. If you ever went up 26, you would know what I'm talking about. It's the big steep going up into before you get to Hendersonville. It's a pretty steep. And when I went up um, a week after the hurricanes, it was down. It was down to one lane, trees everywhere, and we went months after, and they still had trees still over the roadway that they were still working on. So uh, I'm sure fighting this fire is probably even harder with all the tree damage because you know they did not go up there and clean that out because they hadn't had time. So big fire up here. So keep them people in your prayers for sure. Um, hopefully they get some much needed rain and we can knock some of this out. Let's see if they're going to get any rain this weekend. Um, Possibly. Let's see. Sunday and the Monday they're gonna get some rain, so hopefully that could definitely help them on their chances. Um, Man, that's not a whole lot. 60% on Sunday, so hopefully, hey, a little bit of rain is better than no rain. So um, definitely take that in consideration and remember them people. Don't be starting fires. If you got to burn something right now, just wait. Um, but like I said, the middle of the country, pretty much Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's gonna be really jumping. So if you in any of this areas, be weather aware for sure. So throw that out of the way. But hopefully, like I said, maybe some people get to take their kids youth hunting this year. Um, like I said, that's a great time to be out scouting as an adult. You can always use that as a scouting. You can teach a kid how to scout. Get out there early in the morning. Um, Turkeys are. I say turkeys are the hardest thing I hunt. They are the most frustrating bird that I've ever hunted, and man, I tell you, they are they are brutal. Um, but they move around. So get out there and look for them, look for their tracks, and look for where they're trying to bed down in the road, taking little dirt baths. Um, just remember, South Carolina, no jakes, which it's kind of hard. We always tend to give the jakes to the kids, so yeah, it's a little bit different this year for sure. Definitely, South Carolina changed some of their laws on fanning and reaping. So, like I said, now is about 3 days before youth day. Now would be a great time to go read the rules and regulations. You don't want to get a ticket. So, what I think, talking about rules and regulations, and I wonder if y'all seen it online. I seen a lot of it on Facebook. Now, as a waterfowl hunter, we all know that we have to have our federal duck stamp. Typically, I got some really good ladies at my post office. Um, I kid you not, I have a PO box, and it's in a little small town. And the PO boxes, all of them probably would fit in this room. And what y'all see on camera is about half of the room. So that tells you how small this post office is. But every single year, that lady will put a posted note in my PO box that says, "Hey, I'm ordering the stamps on this day," because they go from July to July. Typically when they do them, um, but they have to order them, and they usually don't come in till later. Hey, Jay. And she'll put a note in there saying, "Hey, I ordered the stamps," and then she'll put another note in there, "Hey, the stamps are here." So she gives me a heads up, and I typically always buy my stamps at the post office, just because I collect them. That's pretty much it. But where I was going with this is, we have to have them for waterfowl season, which for early for us would be September. Some other states start earlier than that, up towards Canada area. They start before us. But all these people that had ordered these federal duck stamps online are just starting to get them in the mail this past week and this week. Like, I mean, it's already then almost the next season. Like, they are, I mean, it's the funniest thing ever. They're just mailing them out. Like, I don't, did they not have them printed? Was the post office, because that comes from the post office, The state usually orders it, and then they charge you like a $2 or $3, $4 processing fee. So I would imagine they come from the post office. Let me just say, I would imagine they would come from the post office. Maybe the states are handling. I have no clue. All I know is everybody that ordered them to receive a electronic duck stamp, which would have showed on their license that they had one. Uh, their physical copies are just getting sent to them this week. And man, there's been some funny comments online. People talking about, "Wow, I'm glad my stamp finally come in 7 months ago that I bought." So, just wondering if anybody bought theirs electronically. I always buy mine at the post office. Like I said, that little lady looks out for me. Um, Actually, last year, which would have been this past season we just came out of, I actually put some cookies back in my box for her. So I kind of can't say I bribed her, because I'm not sure if you can say you bribed the postal carrier, but I gave her a nice sugary uh, Scooby snack. You know, us duck hunters, turkey hunters, we do definitely like some Scooby snacks. So I gave her a Scooby snack. But Jay, you gonna be able to do any turkey hunting? I know that you're probably gonna be busy, man. Y'all season's about to start rolling. I mean, like I know Jay is a big turkey hunter. Um, I can't wait. I'm telling you, I hope I get all my tags filled this year. That's all I want. I want at least one public land turkey. Yep, that's what I thought, Jay. I thought that's what I said earlier. I knew you wasn't in here when I went through the rules and regs and said Georgia was coming up. Uh, Youth Day was, I think, this weekend for y'all. Um, but I really, 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 really want to get a turkey off of public land this year. I learned so much since last year. Like I'm telling you, I have been watching videos for the past probably 3 weeks, watching these people call, watching these people just move around in the woods. And, you know, they get 50, 75, 100 yards and they'll sit them out for a little bit. You know, a year ago, when I thought a bird was too far and he would just sit there and sit there, I wasn't knowledgeable enough to move. I didn't really know what I was doing because I grew up, my father deer hunting. I personally don't care for deer hunting, uh, but that's what he done, and that's what I done as a kid. Obviously fishing, but hunting wise, that's about all we did was deer hunt. Now, once I got into high school and met my buddy, that's when we got into dove hunting. But up till 4 years ago, maybe three, can't remember. I never been turkey hunting, like never been, didn't know anything about it. And a lot of it is self-taught. Uh, Granted, you got to have some pretty good hunting land, and man, where I'm at, they're really building up. So pretty much, if you don't know somebody, it's public land. And last year, I went to public land, and I had two birds gobbling, and I thought it wasn't a thought. I knew one of them was on private land, and after watching these videos, how many times these hunters can get private turkeys to jump over and come into public land, like it is crazy. Uh, I personally feel like I gave up on a lot of birds last year is because I either couldn't get to them or I thought they were further away than they were. And also, since then, again, it's all about learning. The more you learn, the more you're out in the woods, the more you learn. And with that being said, I now have uh, there's many different brands out there, and I'm not freely uh, dropping one name over the other one. Onyx, 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 however you want to say it. Um, Great app. Now it's a paid for app. Uh, Now, if you have never used it, you do have a couple of days of free use out of it. So if you haven't ever downloaded it, wait till the night of going somewhere and it will greatly help you. But with that being said, like learning how to use the app, like if you're going to use the free version, I honestly don't know if you're going to master it by any means overnight, because when you click on it, it tells you the weather, it tells you who owns the property, how many acres it is, what zone it's in, and then you can go in there and change the layers. Like you can tell where the creeks are, how high the elevation is. Like you really can learn a lot on how a turkey I ain't gonna say should act, but turkey hunting is a game. Um, Probably like chess. Um, it's a game. Like one thing about turkeys, and I'll say this, and the reason why they are probably so hard to hunt is because as soon as that egg is cracked, let's even back it up before the egg. Um, Before the egg is even cracked and it's just sitting on the ground, because the hens lay on the ground. There's something always trying to eat them: raccoons, ants, possums, all kind of stuff. There's some things that just go in there and that love just to go in there and bust up the eggs. Once they are hatched, they have approximately about 2 weeks before they could ever fly, like get enough flight to get away from danger. So for the 2 weeks that they are first born, everything on this earth is trying to eat them. And then once they get bigger, their life is tough. Like a turkey spends its whole life trying not to die. So to say that they're skittish would be an understatement, because their instinct is, hey, today I don't want to die. That's pretty much a turkey. So you're trying to trick a Tom who is in the woods, basically gobbling, who is really saying, "Hey, ladies, I'm over here," and the Tom is calling the ladies, but in return, you're trying to call a Tom, and that's not how it really works in the real world. The Tom usually calls the ladies, and the ladies come to him, where you're trying to be the lady and pull him to you. And then you throw in the whole scenario of Jake's. That's where the whole depends on which side of the fence you on. Uh, should we hunt more Jakes? Should you take some Jakes out? Um, if you got 4 or 5 Jakes will beat up on a Tom. Um, Now, if a Jake starts getting too big, too feisty, and it's about mating, time to say, "Hey, ladies," that Tom will get aggressive and take back his territory. But it's hard for Tom to, fight 4 or 5 Jakes. So there's that whole is the Jakes messing up the Toms because now the Toms can't get with the ladies. Uh, I don't know. I don't have that job title behind my name to make any heads or tails out of it. Um, I can tell you what I see. I see the past couple of years a whole lot of jakes running around together, and you'll hear a bird gobble on the roost, gobbling his head off as soon as he hits the ground, quiet as a quiet as a whistle. Well, is a whistle quiet? I would say quiet as a cricket, but you can hear them too. Quiet as a mouse. There we go. As soon as their feet hit the ground, they're completely quiet. Now, is that something to do with the coyotes? One could argue that and say that, the predators, like I said, they every day they're just trying to live. Uh, the coyotes have learned too. Hey, there's a turkey over here gobbling. Every time he gobbles, I can get something to eat. So is it that, or the toms just getting on the ground and saying, "Hey, I'm tired of getting beat up by 5 jakes." So with that being said, some of the stuff like I've learned over the season, if you hear them on the roost, don't give up on them. Like don't when you hear them gobbling on the roost and you say, the bird should be on the ground. I don't know what I'm doing. I should get up and move. Maybe that's not the best thing to do. Maybe he was coming to you and now you just bumped him. Now, what I've been reading and listening to, they say once you bump him, it's okay. He'll be back. Um, some of these big old birds, they like certain areas. So if you see a big tom and you actually bump it, give him a couple of days, he's going to be back in that area. Now, why is he in that area? It's almost like deers. Um, if you think about it, a big old buck, and I'm talking about one of these monster racks that people shoot. Now, that buck has his territory, and that is his territory. He will stay in somewhat of that area because that's his territory. And you're going to say, man, this is a good area. Well, if somebody shoots that buck, guess what? Some other buck's going to come and take that. And typically, that is where big bucks come from. And usually it's far places where people don't get to. This is because, hey, they're not dumb. Same way it was with a big tom. The Tom's lived his life in this one particular area of not dying every single day. He's going to stay somewhat in that area. Now, they move in circles just like bear and deer and everything else. So, in given time, he will be back in that area. Is he there tomorrow? Who knows? But, like I said, I'm still learning. Something I would like to be good at or get better at, or could you even say, I don't know a whole lot. So, getting better would be an understatement. But getting to afternoon hunting and finding their roost at night. So many people, so many good turkey hunters talk about, I put that bird to sleep and I see him in the morning. I have not ever put a turkey to bed. I'll get close, but that whole put them to sleep on the roost, man, the only thing I could put to sleep on the roost is my chickens out in the yard. So that is one thing that I definitely want to get better at this year. Um, like I said, that's on my list to do, and also get a bird on public land. So that's my goals for this year. What kind of goals y'all got for turkey season? Um, Also, a number one goal for turkey season is not to run into any kind of snakes. That's going to be number one. Hands down, number one. We're going to say number one is don't run into any snakes. Uh, Funny, I brought up snakes. 2 years ago, I went turkey hunting, and I was out on my aunt's land, and I done walked and walked and walked. Uh, just get it to go. um, I was on my aunt's land, and I done walked and walked. Turkey was across the road, and when I say trying to get a bird to come back onto another property, that's one thing. If you're in the woods, that's to get a bird across a 2-lane road, you might as well probably hang that one up, especially one that's cars are coming down. I mean, I don't know what the odds of that is, but that's probably like slim and ain't gonna happen. But I walked, and I said, man, I gotta go to the restroom. So I'm standing there, and if you're a male, you're standing there and you got your eyes closed, like, whew. I opened up my eyes, and I kid you not, like, I could not make this up. I actually took a picture. I was standing beside a big old cedar tree, and I'm like, whew, and I opened my eyes, and literally eye level was a big old black snake up on that tree, curled up a foot and a half from my face. Never saw it until I was like, that made me pick it up a notch. Uh, I pinched my drawers off because I squeezed my cheeks so hard. Uh, I'm telling you, that snake scared the living Jesus out of me. I mean, it was. I got a photo of it, and I'm like, I could not believe it. I was doing the whole thank you God as I was running away like a little schoolgirl or something. But number one, don't want to see a snake. I would almost rather say I'd rather not see a snake than see a turkey. That's how bad I hate snakes. Uh, Also, this year with turkey season, I'm starting something I never done before. I don't have the product. I might have it on my Amazon because I did order it off of Amazon. So let's see if I can find it. Like I said, I've been watching a bunch of videos, and these turkey hunters that like multiple states, they start early. Trying to get more. Let's see. How do I get orders? Previous orders. Where's that at on the Amazon? Um, you would think that they would quit changing their app around. Um, these hunters before the season starts. Now, what I ordered was Slayer products. It's an insect repellent. It's a spray. It says it repels and kills ticks, chiggers, mites, and mosquitoes. Now, what you're supposed to do is spray it on your clothes. What they guys are doing is laying their clothes and outfits on the ground, spraying them. And this thing's supposed to last like months. It's supposed to not have any smell. Now, granted, some would argue that a turkey make a smell, but what I've seen, they don't smell. But this product is not supposed to have a smell that you're supposed to smell. It says it's odorless after drying. Lasts 6 weeks and 6 washes. But this tick, hey Jeff, this spray you're supposed to put on all your hunting outfits, and pretty much when the ticks land on it, it kills them because one of the videos I was watching, one of the guys got bit by a tick and then got Lyme disease. So um, I have personally never sprayed my outfits. I have found multiple ticks on me every single season. As a male, you use that excuse when you come home, be like, hey, sweetie, will you check me for ticks? Wink, wink. You can use that excuse, but I'm going to try this product. Um, Ticks are deadly. I know multiple people who get that Lyme disease. That's something a lot of them can never, I'm not going to say heal. That's something they deal with for many years. A lot of times you lose the ability to eat like red meat and stuff like that. It's pretty painful. So if I could do something to put on my outfit that repeal, keeps them off, tell them to go somewhere else, I don't rightly know. But ticks, I'm trying to stay away from this year. If you ever had the chiggers, that is some painful scratching. So we're going to test that product out. I'd like to know if y'all ever had any products like that worked. Jay said watch the episodes with Eddie Salter and is that Preston Pittman too? Two of the best old school. Yeah, Jay sent me one the other day of old school. I mean, it was crazy. And another guy was watching turkey hunting. I actually showed that video to my wife. Like, y'all see the waterfowl around me? He had turkey tail fins everywhere. Like, I don't even know how many was in this room. Like, it was massive. That guy is a turkey killer. Jeff says I used a bug repellent clothes from Roger Sporting Good. So that's something I'm gonna do this year. I've never sprayed myself down. I usually carry the handheld. Man, I got a case of the old farts today because I can't remember anything. What Thermacell? Jeez Louise, the Thermacell. Every turkey season, that baby goes with me. I love the Thermacell. Mama says they're always fingernail polish for them jiggers. You know, people say that fingernail polish don't work. It may not. It could be one of them mental things. I don't know. But the last time I went deer hunting and got tore up by them jiggers, I looked like I went to a paintball gun. It feels like it doesn't itch. Maybe they're not digging. I don't know. I always hear conspiracies and theories. Oh, they're dead. That's just your mind itch. I don't know. The fingernail polish works for me. And every time I get them, my wife says, "You do know that there is clear fingernail polish, right?" I'm like, I don't care what color's on me. I'm tired of itching. So, but this week, like I said, I definitely I got a lot going on this week, and I greatly appreciate everybody coming in. I wanted to say we are at 23,000 subscribers, and I am greatly blown away by that. Like, I'm telling you, we are at 23,102. I mean, like, I I I felt like if I ever made it to the 10,000 mark, like that would be a big goal. And now here we are at 23, and I'm like blown away. Uh, this past couple weeks, I've been doing some turkey pattern. I did the 10 gauge. I got some 12 gauge coming up. I just got a choke in the mail this week, thanks to my buddy Jay and Kicks. Um, I got a choke in the mail this week for the 20 gauge. I got some new 20 gauge turkey blend, which is TSS and lead. The full that I had two fulls. I had a factory full and then a butt kicker. The pattern looked decent. It looked decent. Like 100% would have been a dead turkey. I don't care who you are. It just wasn't tight enough. Now, this new choke I got in, I can't wait to make the video on it. So 20 gauge should be coming soon, very soon. So y'all definitely check that out. I know last weekend video was with the wife with her garden. A lot of that stuff is about a week and a half. Like you saw the video this weekend, but it was filmed like a week earlier. Like all that stuff from her garden is really starting to pop. Um, Sunday, I turned the garden over. I got the old farm all cub out. I was fighting a carburetor issue. I thought was a carburetor issue, It was not the carburetor issue. It was the gas tank. The gas tank had rust in it, and the rust flakes were stopping up the fuel line. And I swapped out the tank with a different tank, and man, the tractor just came alive. So I rolled. Some people call it roll. Some people turn it. Whatever you want to do it, plow it. Um, I rode the garden Sunday, anticipating rain yesterday. That we got a little bit of rain. When I say a little bit, it was a little bit. I was hoping that with the garden turned over, uh, I could get some really good moisture down into them. It didn't happen. So maybe this weekend we get some rain. Uh, Probably next weekend I may disc it. So I got to disc it and then start laying off them rows. Like I said, this year we're covering the whole garden with fabric cloth. Try to keep that grass out of it. So if you're into tractors, especially old tractors, like really, really, really old tractors, hey, you're gonna see some on the channel. A lot of gardening going on. I know she planted some tomatoes. Hey, sweetie, I know you just walked by. How many tomatoes did you plant?
I don't know, close to 100.
She said close to 100.
Be surprised.
She said it's going to be a surprise. I know, Jeff. I saw that. Jeff says we had a blizzard last Wednesday and lost power, so I missed you. Oh, man, that's terrible. But I am glad to see you on here, so that means you made it. So I didn't lose a subscriber, so that's a great thing. um, I heard about that blizzard. It's some crazy weather because that cold front pushed in and pretty much is where all them tornadoes came from. Last weekend during them storms, me and my son was riding around and had the dog in the back seat, and the dog just started going crazy. And my son said, "Daddy, my ears hurt." And as soon as he said that, hail just started. I mean, it was hailing like crazy. I threw it in reverse. I said, "We're going back up and go the other way." And we got caught in a bad storm. And then probably 10 miles down the road, we got caught into another hailstorm. Wasn't even a single, I mean, it was like sunshine, no clouds. And it was like marble size hail. So uh, this is the time. I said it before. Now's the time to start preparing to have your stuff together for outbreak. You know, you need like Jeff. He said he lost power. Now I personally don't know Jeff, but I know Jeff's been on this channel enough that when the stuff hits the fan, Jeff's probably going to be prepared. So, you know, now's the time to get prepared. So, tornado season is fixing to be upon us. It's how spring is. Every spring, tornadoes outbreak. People are not ready. They're not paying attention. Now is a great time to download some weather apps. Um, you know, just like a hurricane, they prepare for tornadoes the day of, a couple days out. Like now, they're already saying, you know, Friday, somewhere around Texas, Louisiana, you need to be prepared. Saturday, middle of the state, middle of the country, and also Sunday. Hey, there's going to be bad weather. They're telling you in advance. So now is the time to be prepared. They were, Jeff was saying we were out for 4.5 days. It was bad, man. Worst I seen. Our power company lost 1,200 poles. Yeah, that's a bad day. So, you know, these storms, granted, if you ain't living in Tornado Alley, don't mean that a tornado still won't come. Uh, I recommend following some people on YouTube. One guy that I really like to follow is Max Velocity, and he has a YouTube live. He typically, I'm not going to say every single time, but typically when there's going to be outbreaks, he is live. And then when I say he is live, his YouTube live, he is live for 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 hours straight. And a lot of his live radar coverage, he's going to school for it. A lot of his lives will have he will say, hey, this area is going to have a tornado before a lot of the weather apps and stuff put out a warning. So if you're in any of these areas, there's plenty of people you can follow and watch to let you know, hey, something's fixing to go down. And with our technology these days, we definitely should be better advanced in notification than we used to be. Still, weather can change at any minute, and I completely understand that. But water, take water, get water. You know, keep packs of water, first aid kits. Um, tourniquets are nice, but you don't have to buy the expensive ones. There are multiple ways to make a tourniquet. Uh, you need to at least Google that or YouTube it a couple of times because you never know when that might come in handy. Um, so now's the time to get ready for that. Um, moving on into it's almost basketball season. Well, technically it's already basketball season, but they're getting down to the Sweet 16 Final 8. Like, who's it going to be? Like, is there any basketball players, any college team? Uh, I'm a big Gamecock fan, so our boys didn't make it, which wasn't a shock. But our Lady Gamecocks are looking pretty daggone good. I'm just gonna put that out there. They looking pretty daggone good. So Jeff said he watches Ryan Hall. Yeah, Ryan Hall also has a really good YouTube channel. Also, he does a lot of lives. Also, he's covered all the bad weather events. Stays on as long as the weather's bad. Yep, that's how Ryan is and Max Velocity. They pretty much stay on. And when I'm saying these guys, both of them, they have storm chasers like my video here. You know how like I throw the weather or throw the a web page up on the screen. They're throwing live road cameras up. They're throwing uh, chasers videos up, like people that's actually got feet on the ground. They're throwing all kind of stuff up there. It is very entertaining, and I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older as a man. That's just maybe it's just an old man thing. The old man of me wants to just watch weather and stand on the front porch and look at the grass. I don't know. Maybe that's where I'm at in my life. Like, just stand there and appreciate the grass that I need to cut and get the weeds out of. But I highly recommend both of them. Both of them are really great. But like I said, there's ways to prepare. Now it's time to do it. Uh, peak. We ain't even got into tornado season yet. Like I think tornado season. Let's see. I think we're like a week or two out. Um, April, May, and June. Yep, that's what I thought. So typically the most active are them months. They had some pretty crazy tornadoes in the wintertime last year. Um, so that's it. But like I said, I didn't want to stay on too long tonight. I got a lot going on, got a lot to go get ready for. This weekend, y'all stay safe. If you take somebody, I see that comment, Jeff. Cause we are old. We getting there, girl. I noticed today I was in the bathroom and I was like, man, I think I got like I think I need to trim my beard up because like I don't yeah, this whole I had to look see which way the camera was. This whole section over here is like gray. Like it is gray. I don't know if you watch on YouTube. He's on YouTube and Facebook. The guy, did you know? And last week he colored his beard. And wow, you would think the internet broke because the man colored his beard. And one of the videos, like, you're right, I colored it blacker this time so that y'all can have more tears. But yeah, that's what I was thinking today when I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, that gray is getting like I think I needed to trim it because it was just so much gray. And I'm like, man, if I colored that right now, everybody would know it. Like there would be no, hey, did you color your beard? Yeah, it's that white that 100% everybody would know it. Um, Jay says you'll be with the 28 before you know. I don't know, Jay. I am not ready. I am not ready to say that I'm switching to the sub gauges. I may make some videos, but I am not ready yet to give up on the 12 gauge because 12 gauge with TSS don't kick as much as that lead stuff. So I don't know. Like turkeys are so hard to kill. I want to go out there with like I don't know a machine gun or something. Um, I want every bit of pellets that I can get because I don't see enough to possibly miss. So, but we've been on here an hour. Like I said, I got some. I can't say the guests that should be coming up next month, but I reached out to a good many people. I am trying to line up a lot of guests next month. So under the live category, you will see nobody at this moment because I haven't booked anything. Right now, y'all get to see my ugly face, but hopefully, the past couple weeks, which uh, Jeff, you missed last week's, but hopefully, the past couple weeks, y'all haven't been enjoying the guests that I've had on. I want to get more into that for sure. Um, it's hard to get people nailed down. So Jay says neither was I. He says neither was I. Denial. Like he was saying neither was he. He was in denial, or neither were you, and I'm in denial because I ain't denying nothing. 12 gauge is the Lord's gauge. Putting it out there. I already said that 1,000 times. TSS is where it's at. Right there in that shoulder. I ain't even gonna lie. If I would have known it was too late because the video already came out at that point. That 10 gauge, shooting it a good many times over them episodes of all the 10 gauge, I did have a bruise on my shoulder. It was yellow, 100%. The 10 gauge put a bruise on the old man's shoulder. I felt like maybe I ought to cut that into the video, but then I didn't want to hear the comments of, I hear you, old man. That's why we don't shoot 10 gauge. But it was awesome. I'm telling you, pulling a 3 ounce of TSS, 1,000 plus pellets. Oh my goodness. I would do it. I would do it for a bruise. And I could promise you, if a turkey was running out there, I could care less about a kicking of a shoulder. Like I said, it wasn't that bad. The lead ones that I shot in the week after, which y'all was saw a week after, it was all in the same day. But that lead shell, oh my god, that was the one that rocked my shoulder. But like I said, I got the new 20 gauge choke in. I can't wait to do some videos on the A300. So A300 20 gauge semi-automatic with the kickoff probably shouldn't be that bad. I will give it to Jay. There are some advantages to 20 gauge. I'm just not ready to switch yet. Let me get some more turkeys up under my belt, and maybe so. But like I said, I greatly appreciate everybody who comes on this channel. I greatly appreciate everybody who supports this channel. Um, like I said, we are at 23,000, and I'm gonna say we. I 100% couldn't do this channel without y'all. Uh, I appreciate every single one that comes in here every week. Uh, I hope for y'all get some laughs and kicks out of it. I hope you get some laughs and kicks out of some of the videos. If not, at least hit the thumbs up button. I don't know. Um, I've had a blast on YouTube. I'm not planning to go anywhere no time soon. So hopefully y'all like my face. And if you're listening to this on a podcast and you're not seeing the video, I have a face for radio. There you go. So until next week, we'll be back at it next week, next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So tell your friends, tell your buddies, share these videos. Hey, let's get to 50,000. We're almost at 25. We're at 23. I mean, like I said, we're at 23. We're almost at 25. We're halfway to 50. So, heck, without y'all, I couldn't do it. So let's hit that 50,000. So I'll see y'all next week. Y'all be safe this weekend. Like I said, I don't want to lose no subscribers. So pay attention to the weather. And I'll see y'all next week. And y'all stay safe. And here's a word from our sponsors. Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors, shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Also, go check out Salt Creek Ammo. This triple curl TSS is some of the best TSS I have ever shot. This is for waterfowl edition. It's made for waterfowl. So if you're going to shoot a species that you've been chasing for a long time, don't use no cheap ammo. You pay good money to go on a trip. You got great guns. Don't cheap out on cheap ammunition. This TSS is amazing. It's got number 7s, number 8s, and he has number 9s. So go check out saltcreekammo.com. Here you will find any kind of ammo you're looking for. He has custom loads, TSS in 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, low pressure ammunition. You got Predator ammunition, turkey ammunition, anything you're looking for, give Keith a call. Also to the channel, Kicks Industries, most people will know them as Kick Chokes, has came on board, and I have done a bunch of series lately on waterfowl choke tubes, turkey choke tubes, deer choke tubes. So go check out Kick's website for all of the chokes that can fit your guns. Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC, has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service, LLC, prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC.